All right, good evening, everybody. Today we're going to be going over simple interest, and I want you to keep something in mind. The formula that we came up with to solve simple interest is pretty easy. It's pretty. And that simply means that the interest is going to equal the principal times the rate times the time. Okay, so I'll write it over here for you. The interest equals the principal times the rate times the time. And if you can remember that I is pretty, then you will be able to remember interest equals principal times rate times time. Let's go ahead and go through this. We've got, first of all, the interest here. So this means we're going to be looking at what is the principal, what is the rate, and what is the time. The minute this said years at the end, I know this was going to be the time. So since it says 4 years ago, all right, Edward deposited this 4 years ago, so that means this must be 4. Okay? Edward deposited $6,000. Well, that's got to be my interest, $6,000. And lastly, we have to remember that we're doing the rate. And to use the rate, we have to take our rate and turn it into a number, which means we move our decimal twice. So that would be 0.03. Okay? And now we've got 6,000 times 0.03 times 4. All right? And that's pretty easy. We just grab our calculator now and put those numbers in. And we got 6,000 times 0.03 times 4. That means Edward will earn $720 in interest. Now remember, this is just the interest, not what he's going to have in the bank. What he's going to have in the bank will be the principal plus his interest. All right? Well, you guys got number 8. And I'm going to go to number 9 now. So suppose you deposited $100 in a savings account 4 years ago with a simple interest rate of 2.2%. The interest rate that you earned in those 4 years is $8.80. Which of the following is true? Select and apply. Well, the interest rate is 0.022. Well, let's take a look at that. Is the interest rate going to be 0.022? We take our interest rate and we move it back 2 spaces. It certainly will give us 0.022. The second part was the principal 100? Well, he deposited 100. So yes, we can say that the principal was 100. Was the interest earned $4? Well, that isn't necessarily true because it says here that the interest that you earned was 4 years for 4 years. And it would not be $4. It said here the interest was $8.80. The account was opened 8 years and 8 months ago. Well, that's not true. It says suppose you deposit 100 in a savings account 4 years ago. So if I was going to do this and say which of the following is true, select all that apply, I would have to the first 2, because they're the only 2 that are true. So let's move on to number 11 here. Bowden's account has a principal of $500 and a simple interest rate of 3.3%. Complete the double line. How much money will be in the account after 4 years, assuming that Bowden does not add or take out any money? Well, once again, we can use our formula. I is pretty. And we realize that if he has the account, Bowden's account has a principal of 500, so that's 500 for the principal. And let's see, the rate was 3.3, so we move that over twice. That's going to be 0.033. And we're going to multiply that to 4 years, because it says that he was, how much money will he have in the account after 4 years? And that should give me, there's the trick. And how much money will be in the account after 4 years? Remember, this time after we find out the interest, we're going to have to add it to our original amount to find out what's going to be inside of his account. Let's see. Well, they're saying after 4 years, and that would definitely be 4 years here. And how much money will be in the account after 4 years is kind of weird because it seems like they're giving us the interest here. There's no way this is the amount, but we're going to play along here. We're going to take these numbers and multiply them. We've got 500 times 0.033 times 4. And that's going to give us 66 bucks. But even though that's filled out, the question says how much money will be in the account. So we have to take 500 and add it to 66. And that's pretty easy, $566. And we're moving off to, you got 12, so I've got 13. It says Tommy earned $76 in interest after 5 years on a principal of $400. And it says Jane earned $82 in interest after 2 years on a principal of $1,000. Which bank would you rather use? And I know what you're thinking. Mr. Mendez, if I use this formula that you gave me, I equals PRT, and I put everything in, I'm going to have that, let's see, Tommy earns $76 in interest after 5 years. Well, 5 years tells me the time. On a principal of $400, so that tells me the amount was $400. But it doesn't tell me what the rate is. It never tells me what R is. Now the good news is it does tell us what the interest is. The interest that he earned was $76. And we can use this with our formula to go ahead and find out what the rest of it is. First, we're going to take 400 times 5, and that's going to leave us, let's see, well, 4 times 5 is 20, so 2 more zeros will give me 2,000. So now we have 2,000 R equals 76. And now we can divide 2,000 away. Remember, we're trying to find out what R is. So we're going to divide it away. Whatever I divide from one side, I'll divide from the other. Now I have 76 divided by 2,000. And if I take 76 and divide it by 2,000, that gives me 0.038. Now we have to remember to turn this into percent, we've got to move our decimal over twice. And that means the interest rate is 3.8%. All right, now we know how much Tommy earned in interest. So this was Tommy. Now the next part says that Jane earned $82 in interest after 2 years on a principal of $1,000. Well, we can use this same formula to go ahead and solve that. And, well, let's do that up here. We know it's interest equals principal times rate. So the interest this time was $82. She earned $82 in interest. And that was after 2 years. So our time is going to be 2. And a principal of $1,000. So that's 1,000. And again, we're looking for the rate. We're trying to find out which bank would you rather use and why. Well, the question why is pretty easy. We're looking for who is giving the better rate. So let's solve this. 1,000 times 2 will be, or excuse me, 100 times 2 will be 2,000. So we have 2,000R equals 82. And now we have to divide 2,000 away to get R by itself. And whatever I divide from one side, I divide from the other. That's give me 82 divided by 2,000. And that's 0.041. Now we realize the rate is 0.041, and we have to move that decimal over twice to turn it into a percent. So that's 4.1%. And that was James. So, which bank would I rather use? Definitely James Bank. And I'm going to just type that in. James Bank would be better because it gives a rate of 4.1 on its, was it a savings account? Well, it says it's an account on its, let's just put on its accounts for its members. And that would be it. All right, let's go ahead and find number, see, yours is 14, so I've got number 15. Suppose you deposit $100 in an account A with a simple interest rate of 3.4% and $300 in account B with a simple interest rate of 1.8. 1 year later, you get a bank statement that shows the interest for account A is $3.40 and the interest for account B is $540, or excuse me, account A is $3.40 and the interest for account B is $540. Which account statement is correct? Wow. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and try to solve this. All right, so let's work both these problems. First one we see, suppose you deposit 100. So if we did that, that would be 100 for the principal. Remember, I is pretty. And let's see, while we're at it, right at this point, let's go ahead and put a code word in, all right? And I went to this great store just this weekend, and it was at Pier Park. It's called I Love Sugar. And it's got a heart that's eaten out of it, okay? So if you have this on your paper, I will know that you watched the video, but I'm going to go ahead and erase this off so anybody that just tries to scroll through it will not see it. All right, so for all of you true video watchers, you'll have your code to earn your treat. Now let's move on. Which account statement is correct? Suppose you deposit 100, remember, the principal was 100. Account A with a simple interest rate of, well, we're going to multiply, we got to move that decimal over twice, so 0.034. And since it was just 1 year later, we're multiplying it to 1. Well, if we do this, remember, all that's going to equal what the interest was. Well, 100 times 1 is simply 100. But 100 times 0.034, that's going to go ahead and move this back twice, which would be 3.4. And when you're talking about money, that's going to end up being $3.40. All right. So account A, it says 1 year later you get a bank statement that shows the interest for account A is $3.40. That's absolutely correct. Now let's check for account B. It says, and $300, well, it's $300 of principal. In account B with a simple interest rate of 1.8, so we're going to have to move that over twice. That'll give us 0.018. And it's still 1 year later, so it'll be times 1. And now we got 300 times 0.018. Let's see here. And if we do this in our calculator, 300 times 0.018 is going to equal 5.4, which again, times 1 will still be 5.4. So that means the interest will be 5.4, but in money, that'll be $5.40. But they claimed the account B should have been, was $540. Well, that's incorrect. So which account statement is incorrect? Account B is incorrect. And now it says, what may have been the bank's error? Well, look, 540 is very close to the number $5.40. And I'm thinking if they'd never moved that decimal, and they just multiplied to 1.8, let's check that out and see if that could have been it. Let's see, 300 times 1.8. There it is, 540. So what looks like happened is, what may have happened, they forgot to move their decimal before they multiplied. So I'm going to put that there. They forgot to move their decimal. Oops. Before they multiplied, which sounds like a great thing, because that would give you $540 instead of $5.40. All right, that is all the problems I'm doing tonight. You guys got the even ones, so you're stuck with the high order thinking. Good luck to you, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.